รายการประจำชุดวิชา 11304 ภาษาอังกฤษสำหรับเจ้าหน้าที่สำนักงาน English for Office Staff สาขาวิชาศิลปศาสตร์ มหาวิทยาลัยสุโขทัยธรรมาธิราช แผ่นที่ 7
Activity 27. Listen and repeat.
1.1 การสะกดแบบที่นิยมใช้ในประเทศไทย
A for able, B for Baker, C for Charlie, D for dog, E for easy, F for fox, G for George, H for how, I for item, J for Jimmy, K for king, L for love, M for Mike, M for might, N for Nancy, O for oboe, P for Peter, Q for queen, R for Roger, S for sugar, T for Thomas, T for tar, U for uncle, V for Victor, W for William, X for X-ray, Y for yoke, Y for young, Z for zebra, Z for zero.
1.2 การสะกดแบบระบบอเมริกัน
A for alpha, B for bravo, C for Charlie, D for delta, E for echo, F for foxtrot, G for golf, H for hotel, I for India, J for Juliet, K for kilo, L for Lima, M for Mike, N for November, O for Oscar, P for Papa, Q for Quebec, R for Romeo, S for Sierra, T for Tango, U for uniform, V for Victor, W for whiskey, X for X-ray, Y for Yankee, Z for Zulu.
1.3 การสะกดแบบระบบอังกฤษ
A for Andrew, B for Benjamin, C for Charlie, D for David, E for Edward, F for Frederick, G for George, H for Harry, I for Isaac, J for Jack, K for King, L for Lucy, M for Mary, N for Nellie, O for Oliver, P for Peter, Q for Queenie, R for Robert, S for Sugar, T for Tommy, U for Uncle, V for Victor, W for William, X for Xmas, Y for yellow, Z for zebra. Activity 28. Listen to the tape and circle the name you hear in each number.
1. This is Dunkling speaking. 2. May I speak to Mr. Barkley, please? 3. Can I leave a message for Mrs. Coral? 4. Can you ask him to call me back? This is Crafter. 5. Is Murrow there, please? 6. I'd like to speak to Mr. Kennington, please. 7. My name's Wimberton. 8. Sales Department, Keller speaking.
Activity 29. Listen to the tape and write down the number you hear in each sentence.
1. Could you ask Mrs. Castro to call me back at 393-4128? I'll be there until 2 this afternoon. 2. Please tell Mr. McKay that I'll meet him at the airport tonight at 8:15 p.m. 3. May I have extension 3855, please? 4. I'm afraid I have to postpone my appointment with Mr. Mann until tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. 5. Can you please tell Miss Johnson that the check we sent her last week was for the amount of 35,218 baht, not 32,518 baht?
Activity 30. Interact with the tape, using the information given in each one. After you give the information, you will hear the tape ask for confirmation. If the information of the tape is similar to what you say, you have to answer, "That's right." But if not, you have to answer "No," and then give the right information once again. See the example. Example: say that the number of your house is 115/2.
The number of my house is 115/2.
Is it 115/2?
That's right.
Say that the number of your house is 115/2.
The number of my house is 115/2.
Is it 115/4?
No, it's 115/2.
1. Is it 311-2619? 2. Is it room 924? 3. Is it 4:50 tomorrow? 4. Is it 24,120 baht? 5. Is it 579-3014 until 5 o'clock?
Activity 31. Listen to the tape and complete the message form. You can play the tape as many times as you wish. At Mr. Larson's office. There's a call from Mr. Larson, who's on holiday in Spain at present. Suwimon Michai, his secretary, answers the phone and therefore writes a message for Mr. Larson.
Mr. Larson's office. Good morning.
Good morning. Could I speak to Mr. Larson, please?
I'm afraid Mr. Larson's on holiday in Spain at present.
Do you know when he'll be back?
Not later than next Tuesday. May I take a message?
Yes. Could you tell him that I'd like to invite him and his wife to come to the grand opening of our new office on November the 25th at 10 a.m.? I'll send him an invitation card within this week.
May I also have your name and number, please? Just in case that Mr. Larson wants to get back to you when he comes back.
Certainly. This is John Kramer of Kramer Company, and my number is 0191-225-46. He can call me any time. It's a mobile phone.
Could you please spell your surname?
Kramer. K-R-A-M-E-R.
Thank you, Mr. Kramer. I'll give Mr. Larson your message.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Kramer.
Activity 32. Read the following statements and then listen to the dialogue in situation 6 to check whether they are true or false. While listening, don't forget to note down the relevant information. Situation 6. Mr. Larson has just arrived back from Spain after spending his holiday there. He's now talking to Suwimon Michai, his secretary, to find out what happened during his absence.
Hello, Suwimon. How have you been? Is everything all right with you?
Very well, thank you, Mr. Larson. Everything is fine.
That's good to hear. By the way, there must have been many telephone calls for me, I suppose. But was there anyone that seemed important?
Oh, there was a call from Mr. Kramer of Kramer Company on November the 18th.
What did he say?
He said he would like to invite you and your wife to go to the grand opening of his new office on November 25th at 10 a.m.
Did he say anything else?
Yes, he also said that he would send you an invitation card within the following week.
Did you ask for his telephone number? I think I should give him a call.
Yes, Mr. Larson. He told me that his telephone number was 0191222546 and that you could call him any time.
In that case, could you phone him now?
Certainly, Mr. Larson. Mr. Larson, I have Mr. Kramer on the line for you.
Activity 34. Look at the following diary and then listen to the dialogue in situation 7. Decide which diary belongs to Mr. Wright according to the information in the dialogue.
Situation 7. Mr. Amnat Sutam, the purchasing manager of ABC Company Limited, left a message for Mr. Wright, the sales manager of STC, asking Mr. Wright to call him back. Then Mr. Wright calls him back after he gets the message.
Good morning, Kun Amnat. This is Peter Wright of STC. I'm returning your call.
Hello, Mr. Wright. Thank you for calling me back so promptly.
Not at all. It was about credit facilities, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. There are several matters I'd like to discuss with you.
Would you like me to come in and see you to discuss the matter in details?
Yes, I think that would be best. Can we make an appointment now?
Yes, certainly. Let me get my diary. Does tomorrow morning suit you? That's the 12th.
Yes, that's fine. What time?
Shall we say 10?
That sounds alright with me.
I look forward to seeing you then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Activity 35. Listen and repeat the following sentences. Notice the intonation of each sentence.
1. I'd like to make an appointment with Mr. Johnson. 2. I want to arrange a meeting with the sales manager. 3. Could I make an appointment with Mr. Johnson? 4. Can I arrange a meeting with the sales manager? 5. Would it be possible to make an appointment with Mr. Johnson? 6. I'm calling on behalf of Mrs. Whitney. 7. One moment, please. I'll check the appointment book. 8. Does 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon suit you? 9. Would 2 o'clock Friday morning be convenient? 10. Yes, that's fine. 11. Yes, that's all right. 12. I'm afraid I'm not free then. Is 4 o'clock all right for you?
Activity 38. Listen to the dialogue in situation 8 and write T or F according to the information you hear. Situation 8. Rosemary Sirocone, Mr. O'Connor's secretary, calls Mr. Danton's secretary to confirm Mr. O'Connor's appointment with Mr. Danton.
Mr. Denton's office. May I help you?
This is Mr. O'Connor's secretary here. I'm calling to confirm Mr. O'Connor's appointment with Mr. Danton on Thursday, 17 December at 9 a.m.
Oh, just a moment, please. I'll check the diary. Yes, that's right. Thursday, 17th December at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Activity 39. Confirm an appointment for yourself orally using the cues given. Then listen to the tape to see if you were correct. Example.
Morning, Mr. O'Reilly, with Miss Smith, tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. Good morning, this is Mr. O'Reilly. I'd like to confirm my appointment with Miss Smith, tomorrow afternoon at 3:30.
1. Afternoon. Miss Sorenso, with Mr. Johnson, Tuesday, March 14th at 10:15 a.m. Good afternoon. This is Miss Sorenso. I'd like to confirm my appointment with Mr. Johnson on Tuesday, March 14th at 10:15 a.m.
2. Morning, Mr. Ogilvy, with the Managing Director, Wednesday 20th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Good morning, this is Mr. Ogilvy. I'd like to confirm my appointment with the Managing Director on Wednesday the 20th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
3. Evening, Mrs. Irwin, with the manager. Tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at the Royal Place Hotel. Good evening. This is Mrs. Irwin. I'd like to confirm my appointment with the manager tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at the Royal Place Hotel.
4. Morning, Mr. Fisher, with Mrs. Herman, Monday, January 12th at 11 a.m. Good morning. This is Mr. Fisher. I'd like to confirm my appointment with Mrs. Herman on Monday, January 12th at 11 a.m. 5. Afternoon, Mr. Ferguson with Miss McFarlane, Friday, 21st February at 2:45 p.m. Good afternoon. This is Mr. Ferguson. I'd like to confirm my appointment with Miss McFarlane on Friday, the 21st of February at 2:45 p.m.
Activity 40. Confirm an appointment for different people orally. Use the cues given. Then listen to the tape to see if you were correct. Example.
Morning, Mr. O'Reilly, with Miss Smith, tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. Good morning, this is Mr. O'Reilly's secretary. I'd like to confirm his appointment with Miss Smith tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. 1. Afternoon, Miss Sorenso, with Mr. Johnson, Tuesday, March 14th at 10:15 a.m. Good afternoon. This is Miss Sorenso's secretary. I'd like to confirm Miss Sorenso's appointment with Mr. Johnson on Tuesday, March 14th at 10:15 a.m. 2. Morning, Mr. Ogilvy, with the managing director, Wednesday 20th at 2 in the afternoon. Good morning. This is Mr. Ogilvy's secretary. I'd like to confirm Mr. Ogilvy's appointment with the managing director on Wednesday the 20th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Number 3. Evening, Mrs. Irwin, with the manager, tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at the Royal Place Hotel. Good evening. This is Mrs. Irwin's secretary. I'd like to confirm Mrs. Irwin's appointment with the manager tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at the Royal Place Hotel. 4. Morning, Mr. Fisher, with Mrs. Herman, Monday, January 12th at 11 a.m. Good morning. This is Mr. Fisher's secretary. I'd like to confirm Mr. Fisher's appointment with Mrs. Herman on Monday, January 12th at 11 a.m. 5. Afternoon, Mr. Ferguson, with Miss McFarlane, Friday, 21st February at 2:45 p.m. Good afternoon. This is Mr. Ferguson's secretary. I'd like to confirm Mr. Ferguson's appointment with Miss McFarlane on Friday, the 21st of February at 2:45 p.m.
Activity 41. Respond to the following appointment confirmations orally, using the expressions you have studied, such as,
One moment, please. I'll check the diary. Just a moment, please. I'll check the appointment list. Yes, that's right. Thursday, 17 December at 9 o'clock. Yes, that's right. Tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. Yes, that's right. April 9th at 9:30. Number 1. This is Mr. Wilson. I'd like to confirm my appointment with the sales manager tomorrow morning at 9:15.
Two. This is Mrs. Irwin. I'd like to confirm my appointment with the manager tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at the Royal Place Hotel.
3. This is Mr. Ferguson. I'd like to confirm my appointment with Miss McFarlane on Friday, 21st February at 2:45 p.m.
4. This is Mr. Fisher's secretary. I'd like to confirm Mr. Fisher's appointment with Mrs. Herman on Monday, January 12th at 11 a.m. 5. This is Mr. Ogilvy's secretary. I'd like to confirm Mr. Ogilvy's appointment with the managing director on Wednesday, 20th at 2 in the afternoon.
Activity 42. Listen to the dialogue in Situation 9 and answer these questions. Situation 9. Jongkon Mangmi, Mr. Wright's secretary, calls Mr. Ryan's secretary, Penny Young.
Mr. Ryan's office. May I help you?
Good morning. This is Jongkon Mangmi, Mr. Wright's secretary. I'm terribly sorry, but I have to cancel Mr. Wright's appointment with Mr. Ryan for tomorrow. Mr. Wright's being held up in Paris.
Oh, I see. Thank you for calling.
Not at all. Sorry again.
Activity 43. Cancel an appointment orally, as in the example, using the cues given. Then listen to the tape to see if you were correct. Example: afraid, must, break, my appointment with you tomorrow.
I'm afraid I must break my appointment with you for tomorrow. 1. I'm terribly sorry, but I have to cancel Mr. Kent's appointment with Mr. Larson on November 3rd. 2. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to call off Miss Ogilvy's appointment with you for this morning. 3. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to keep my appointment with you at 10 o'clock today. 4. I'm afraid I must cancel Mr. Lotto's appointment with Miss Kite on June 18th. 5. I'm sorry, but I have to call off my boss's appointment with you for this afternoon.
Activity 44. Listen and repeat after the tape.
1. Mr. Castro has been held up at the meeting. 2. I've been held up at the office. 3. Miss Owens has to fly to London tomorrow morning. 4. Miss Jones has been called away rather unexpectedly on business. 5. Mr. Klein's not very well today. He has to see the doctor. 6. Oh, I see. Thank you for calling. 7. Not at all. Sorry again. 8. You're welcome.
Activity 45. Listen to the dialogue in situation 10 and decide if the statement is true or false. Write T or F. If the statement is false, give the correct information. Situation 10. Somali calls Mr. Lado.
Lado speaking.
Good morning. I'm afraid I must postpone Mr. Carlton's appointment with you this afternoon at 2. Mr. Carlton's flight from Spain has been delayed, and he won't be back until tomorrow morning.
Oh, I see. What date would he prefer?
He preferred to come Monday morning at 10:30.
Very well. I'll make a note of it.
Activity 46. Listen to the tape and complete the dialogue with the words you hear.
Good morning. May I help you?
Good morning. Can I speak to Mr. Baker's secretary, please?
Speaking.
I'm calling on behalf of Mr. Johnson of STC. I'm afraid I have to put off Mr. Johnson's appointment with Mr. Baker. He feels very sick today and has been asked to stay in bed.
Oh, I see. One moment, please. I'll get the appointment book. What date would you prefer?
Mr. Johnson would like to come on Tuesday next week.
How about 2:45 p.m.?
Yes, that's fine.
I'll make a note of it. Thank you for calling.
Unit 6. Memorandums and Letters. Situation 1. Listen to the dialogue and then read the memo that follows. Background. Ann Baxter is a new secretary to the managing director of the Sukhothai Trading Company. Surya Pitikun is the personnel manager of the same company.
Hello, Kun Surya. May I talk to you for a moment?
Oh, sure.
I have a problem. The two new clerks whose desks are close to mine talk all the time. This really disturbs me since my work needs concentration. Can my workstation be moved?
I'm sorry to hear that. Could you please write me a memo explaining your problem and your request? Then we'll try to find the best solution.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Situation 2. Listen to the dialogue and read the letter. Background. Peter Wright is the sales manager of the Sukhothai Trading Company. Jongkon Mangmi is his secretary. Peter has just arrived at the office, while Jongkon is opening the mail which has arrived this morning.
Good morning, Jongkon.
Good morning, boss. You're very early today. I haven't finished opening the mail yet.
The traffic is not bad today. Is there anything interesting in the mail so far?
Well, there's this letter from Singapore.
Let me see, please.
Here you are.
Activity 28. Listen to the following dialogue and then write a letter replying to the request you have heard. Background. Suda is speaking on the phone to Mr. Jackson, an American tourist who is now on holiday in Thailand.
Premier Travel, good morning. May I help you?
Good morning, yes. I've just seen your advertisement in the Bangkok Post. I'd like some information about your historic Sukhothai tours. Can you send it to me?
Of course, sir. I'll be pleased to send it to you. Can I have your name and address?
Michael Jackson, room 1508, Landmark Hotel.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. I'll post a brochure to you today.
Many thanks.
And please don't hesitate to contact us for any additional information.
Okay.
I'll look forward to making a reservation for you, Mr. Jackson. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Unit 8. Plans and Travel Arrangements. Activity 13. Listening Practice. Listen to the dialogue on the tape and then fill in the missing words in the first half of the dialogue. Hello, Asia Travel Agency. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to book a round-trip flight to Singapore for August.
Certainly. And what day would you like to fly?
It's for my boss, actually. Saturday, August the 2nd.
And that's a round-trip ticket?
Yes, he would like to return on Saturday, August the 22nd.
August 22nd. And which class will he be flying?
Since it's only a short flight, economy would be just fine.
Do you have any preferences regarding the airline you use?
No, but of course, I'd like to keep the price as economical as possible.
I understand. Could I call you back after checking with a few airlines?
Sure, my number is 2439751.
243-9751. And your name?
Jongkon Mangmi.
And I'm Pat. I'll call you back shortly, Miss Mangmi.
I'll be waiting for your call, Pat.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Hello, Sukhothai Trading Company, Mr. Wright's office.
Hello, this is Pat from Asia Travel. Is this Ms. Mangmi?
Yes, it is.
I have some information regarding the Singapore flight you inquired about.
Yes?
The lowest fare available for a round-trip flight leaving Bangkok for Singapore on August 2nd and returning August 22nd is on Korean Air. It would be 5,700 Thai baht, not including Thai or Singapore airport tax.
That sounds fine. Can you give me the flight times and numbers, please?
For August 2nd, the flight leaves Bangkok at 3:40 p.m. and arrives in Singapore at 4:26 p.m. Flight number is KE631.
KE631.
The return flight on August 22nd leaves Singapore at 1:25 p.m. and arrives in Bangkok at 2:20 p.m. That's flight number KE632.
632. Okay. Could you go ahead and make the booking, please? You can bill me at the following address.
Activity 16. Listening Practice. Listen to the dialogue on the tape and then fill in the missing words.
Did you get a chance to call about the flight arrangements, Jongkon?
Yes, you'll be flying Korean Air. I put the travel itinerary and flight numbers on your desk.
Good. I'll take a look at them in a few minutes. Any problems booking the flight?
Well, making the reservation was easy enough, but the airline called later and explained that they require some information from your passport before a ticket can be issued.
Just a moment. I'll get it from my desk. Okay, what do they need to know?
First of all, could you tell me your passport number?
2031462001.
2031462001. And the date the passport was issued?
July 10, 1989.
And the place is what issued?
Washington, D.C.
Finally, I need to know the passport's expiration date.
July 10, 1999. Anything else?
No, that should be all.
Will I need to apply for a visa before entering Singapore?
I've already called the Singapore embassy. They said that for American citizens, no visa is required.
Great.
You will need a re-entry visa to return to Thailand, however. I'll put the form on your desk for you to sign.
Thanks.